All right. I'll wait for Sam here. Sam, you good? All right, the regular city council meeting of City of Sandwich is called to order Monday, November 3rd, time being 9:09 p.m. We please rise for the pledge led by Alderman Chun.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all.
All right, we have roll call.
Okay, Alderman Arnett.
Here.
Alderman Chun.
Here.
Alderman Danko is absent. Alderwoman Erickson.
Here.
Alderwoman Inman.
Here.
Alderman Ketchum is absent. Alderman Kreinbrink.
Here.
And Alderman Robinson's absent.
Okay, we have a quorum. There's no public hearing tonight. Are there any audience comments? Consent agenda, item 6, motion to adopt the consent agenda as a whole. All matters are considered to be routine by the council and can be enacted by one motion. If discussion is desired, that item can be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. They are A, approval of the minutes of the committee of whole meeting, October 6, 2025. Item B, approval of the minutes of the committee of whole, October 20th, 2025. Item C, regular minutes of October 20th, 2025. Any desire to remove an item? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Alderwoman Inman, is there a second?
I'll second, Mayor.
Alderman Kreinbrink, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, consent agenda is approved. I have no report I gave it in the first meeting. Attorney report.
I don't have anything. I guess I would just like you guys to think about the other part of the formal process for when a home is sold and the final meter read, and give me some direction on that.
Absolutely.
I got one yes. I got,
Is anybody
Yes, yes.
opposed to
I was
doing
gonna- yeah,
that?
maybe
'Cause
that. Is anyone
would
opposed?
really help us. Yep.
okay, so I will,
Yep, you're opposed, or yep or not?
No, I'm for it.
okay, so I will proceed with getting something together to implement that as well. Thank you.
All right, city clerk report.
Nothing, thank you.
Administrator report.
Just wanted to bring you guys up to speed on a couple things. I'll be attending a watershed stewardship class on Thursday, the 6th. Alderman Danko is supposed to go as well. That's offered through the DeKalb County Stormwater Committee, of which I am a member. And so that'll be on Thursday. I did include in some of the information I sent out, just some drawings of the City Hall Annex. Those came from a discussion that we had with some staff, with an architect, just to kind of look at what could happen on this side of the building if we decided to ever move offices or look at being able to expand. And I think that there's some really good opportunity there. So just for everybody to kind of take a look at and let us know. And then Railroad Street Water Treatment Plant. I did get a call from Steve Dennison, or an email from Steve Dennison this morning. We're trying to find a contractor who can do some shoring up, I guess, of that facility. We've added a few more Jenga blocks, and but in order to make sure that it lasts long enough for us to be able to tear it down, we need to do some additional work there. We believe we have a contractor, but I don't have a price. So at this point in time, we need to do something, because if we don't, we're gonna have snow load on it and other things, and we could have more damage. So what I'd like to do is kind of, if that's the only one we can get, but get some kind of a not to exceed price that I can come back to the next council meeting with, so that we can move forward with some type of repairs. It's gonna have to probably be a time and materials thing, but we have to make some repairs to make sure that that's gonna suffice going forward. If we go through the process of an architect and putting it back out to bid and everything else, I am concerned that that the process is gonna outlive the building.
Questions, comments?
I guess, get some numbers and bring them back. You know, one option that I said years ago and Adam and I talked about the other day is, could we just not put a pole building up around that building and take the roof off of it and keep it to the weather, you know, as an interim fix?
I love that idea.
I mean, if it's
I don't know how we do it, but
$80,000 or whatever, or $100,000 to just make it go up and around to cover it.
I said just put a roof over it, and just put pillars and put a roof over the top of
Yeah.
it. Without the sides,
they laughed at me when I said, let's put a salt dome
the
over
snow
it. but-
move off of it. And
I mean, it's one of those things where we do have to think creatively. I think we still have to do some repairs to it enough to hold it in place.
Or even if you were able just to put some, not a structural engineer, but columns around on the outside of it and beam across and put another roof on top of it.
What's I even said to Jeff, because I don't know what condition the masonry was in, is the possibility of putting a new bond beam around the top and just framing a new roof on top of it.
So we're trying to look at all those things, but we've got to find a contractor who is willing to work on it. We think we've got one. We had reached out to the company that's been working out at the wastewater treatment plant, and they were not very interested, but we'll see what we can come up with.
okay. All right, what else you got, Jeff? Anything?
That's it. All the good news right there.
Yep, thank you. City Department reports, Tony?
Nothing further, sir.
Chief?
Nothing further.
No report?
I'm
Kurt? He said it so fast I didn't hear him, that's why I had to ask.
Nothing further, thank you.
All right. Item 13, unfinished business. Discussion and possible approval of professional service agreement with Hampton, Lansing, and Renwick. I don't know where they're out of. I know they're out of Carmine, Illinois. For construction engineering service for Pratt Road Bridge, an estimated cost of $259,490. Is there a motion to approve the awarding of an agreement and authorize the mayor to sign it?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Alderman Chun, is there a second?
I'll second.
Alderwoman Inman, discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alderman Kreinbrink,
Aye.
Alderman Arnett,
Aye.
Alderman Chun,
Aye.
Alderwoman Erickson. Alderwoman Inman.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. I think we already talked about 5. I don't know if we have any action to take. Would that be correct, council? All right. we
Well, the
will
only
move
thing
a
I'd
bit
like
as
to
is.
add to that one is, obviously, yes, we're going to move it and wait for cost to come back from budget. But are we also going to look at adding into whatever formalized thing we have as far as the application process financially, so we don't have our money going to investors when investors should pay for their own property?
Yep, I'm happy to start that and get you guys some example. I did make a note on the other meeting to get you guys some examples of the, you know, income levels that other municipalities are using. So I will
Then
work on it.
also, if there is some type of, if it is 50/50 or it's 100%, if there is 50%, if we're going to have whatever has not been repaid attached to title, so when they sell,
Yes,
okay.
yes. That would probably be part of the, a memorandum of understanding between us and the homeowner.
Because ultimately, in the end, if, and I wish we had our entire list of, I know we have to have anybody, what, 2027?
Well, we redo the inventory every April.
So I wish we had that entire list, because I know that DeKalb, they got 3.2 million, and that's how they got a full grant, and that's how they're able to replace theirs all for free.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and I think that, I can't say for certain, but with what the estimation is for the number of lines, I think that we're a lot more likely to be able to get some help than we obviously originally thought.
Right. Had we, you know, and part of the process, or problem is that we thought there were 6 on Main Street. I mean, to apply for that grant and use our opportunity on 6 homes didn't make sense at the time. So we should have done it differently, but that's the reality.
And that's where the additional grant funding, that we're trying to get that $40,000 to go and fill in the gaps and the holes where the money was spent on the whole city on that 10 or 15%, and now we can go and fill in all those gaps and get all the information, record it better.
Well, that's why I'll talk to Jeff, I talked to Fred, I talked to Don, is ultimately, I honestly believe we need another employee in the water department. I mean, 2 guys to take care of the entire water system in the city of St. Louis is very slim. You know, if we had another employee, we'd start scheduling a guy on a weekly basis to start going to these homes and actually put together a real list. Because we were told previously, Main Street, all the homes have been gone in. We know that was factually untrue. If they had been gone in, we would have known what they were, because you can walk in there, you can look at a galvanized line, and it's obviously galvanized. We know it's going to be a lead line.
But I guess, Kurt, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the issue was that we didn't know what the whips were. So I guess, is there a way that we can find out what the whips are? I mean, I think the answer is no, right? I mean, more or less?
As we tear up the road.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is,
I mean,
that,
Is it not true, though, that the Illinois EPA is basically saying if it's galvanized, there's lead tied to it in order to
Correct.
transition? So
Yes.
that should be
so that
classified
takes
as a
that
lead
part
line if
away.
it's galvanized,
Okay.
Yeah,
which
so-
we didn't do in the past.
Right, that's where the mistake was made, is that we collectively didn't understand that a galvanized line was a lead line.
well, and I think that guidance changed
They
at
changed
some
the guidance in the
point.
middle
So,
of
I
the
mean,
process,
yes.
and when you got people retiring,
Yeah.
that things are getting left behind, things are all over the place.
Yeah.
Policies are changing. It's a very, very difficult, hard to put blame on anything really on how it was done. All the communities are having this problem. They really are. Some have done it sooner than us, and that's where the problem even starts, is that we're getting a little late start on this, and everything's really changing right in front of our eyes. And now the GRR, which is the galvanized requiring replacement, that's the terminology you're talking about. When you check the line and you find that galvanized line, now you know it requires replacement, because very, very high chance that it did have a lead whip at some point.
But, so, back to my point, if we did have an employee available, 9 times out of 10, if we go in there and we see copper coming out of the ground, there's 90% chance that's not going to have a lead whip on it. If we do see galvanized, you're about 100% sure it's going to have a lead whip on it. So we can start making a list of what homes have what.
Right.
So
and
it'll probably be
on-
a safer estimate that way.
Right. Well, and on Arnold Street was a prime example where we had a home that was a copper line, but then as we found out, it was actually tied to a lead line that was tied to the neighbor, which was then tied to our, the neighbor, and then tied to our Main Street.
Right, we're gonna run
main.
into some instances,
There's just some of it you can't predict.
but you're gonna have a very good idea by going in and looking at these.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
So we'll update the list and we'll reapply. And we'll find some things we just don't know. All right, item A, new business 14 is discussion possible action to approve the monthly bills totaling $461,619.81 as recommended by the Finance Committee. Still a good number? All right, keep in mind too that a good chunk of that is the bond payment for the public safety building. Is there a motion to approve our monthly bills in the amount stated?
I'll make that motion.
Alderwoman Inman, second. I'll second. Alderwoman Erickson, any discussion or questions on the bills? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderman Chun,
Aye.
Alderwoman Erickson,
Aye.
Alderwoman Inman,
Aye.
Alderman Kreinbrink,
Aye.
and Alderman Arnett.
Aye.
Motion passes. Item B, I think we decided we're going to hold off for additional information on the flock cameras. Okay, so that'll be moved to the next meeting. Alderperson reports, Alderman Arnett,
Nothing further.
Alderman Chun,
Nothing.
Alderwoman Erickson,
Nothing, thank you.
Alderwoman Inman.
I just didn't know if it'd be possible when we have executive session on our agendas, if we can maybe get like a confidential email or something telling us roughly what it's about, because a lot of times we're just going in blind.
Well, it happens too when we call them during the meetings.
Right, I know, but
When we get to
when
that.
we know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'd like to know if we have to prepare something or research it, so. In this case, when we get to that, I don't know that it's supposed to be on our agenda. We'll have that question. It might be something that we don't need this evening, but yes, I've heard you, and we'll see what we can do for that information. All right, anything else, Janelle? Okay, Alderman Kreinbrink?
Nothing further, sir.
All right. So executive session was placed on here for 5 ILCS 122C1. Everyone I've spoken to, it has no idea why it's on there. So is there a need to go into closed session for personnel? It might have just been a carryover from the last meeting. It didn't get taken off.
May have been.
Okay, if we don't need to, we don't need to. All right, so the other part of that was 5 ILCS 122C11. Do we need to go into that, or can we wait till,
I will send an email to
okay,
council.
confidential email? Is that still pending? Okay, then our next announcements will be Finance Committee, November 17th at 6:30 PM. The Committee of the Whole meeting, November 17th, 2025 at 7 PM, followed by our regular meeting. Any other items that come before the council? Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Alderman Sean, second, Alderman Arnett, is that right? Adam, are you the second? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, and we're adjourned. Thank you.